Hey everyone, Aaron here with Elite Watersports, and today's video is all about these confusing things, these pigtails. And well, they're not too confusing if you have the same brand bar on the same brand kite, but the knots and the loops, they change with every brand. And I'm going to show you exactly how to make it more universal so you can use just about any bar on any other brand kite. Stay tuned. So what is this video about specifically, as fast as I can put it, is that, well, North, Core, several other brands out there, on the wingtip of their kites, they have knots, and on the bridle, they have loops, and vice versa on their bars so they can be connected properly with that lark's head. And you switch over to a different company, say like Ozone or Nash or Duotone, Elevate, they might have knots on their bridles and loops on their wingtips, and vice versa on their bars. Well, they make Universal Pigtails, and well, we're going to put a link right here so you can buy them on our website, elitewatersports.com, and then you won't have this problem at all. But if you don't buy them from the website and you don't have Universal Pigtails, well, I'm going to get you past that lockout stage that everybody gets to, not knowing what to do with a different brand bar on a different brand kite. This one, for example, is going to be just standard lines going to pigtails. So I'm going to teach you how to take the pigtail off. And if we look closer to it, we have loops on our wingtips. These are our steering lines. And then our front lines, our bridle lines, have knots. So there you go. And then you just have a standard pigtail. Now, in order for me to make this work on, like, say, a Nash kite, I'm just going to need to change this loop from the outside steering lines to the center lines. This is how that looks. All it is a figure 8 knot. And sorry, my hands are dirty. I've been working on the van, getting it ready to go to OBX. We go to OBX every year and take a bunch of people out there. And what you want to do is just peel these off. Sometimes they're a little bit harder than others, especially on older bars. This is a newer bar. You're going to pass this line through. And then pull it off. Now, once we get our other pigtail, all we're gonna do is feed our line through. Boomer, stay off the kite, man. He's a puppy, he's learning. Not good to have dogs stepping on your kite. So pass the line through the loop and then pass the pigtail through the line. And the final step is the most important, that you're making a figure 8 knot. What I see most often is this, where the lines kind of look like this, and well, you're fatiguing the lines, say maybe 50%. Some scientist out there knows exactly, but this isn't as strong as if it was folded over, making a figure 8 knot with an approximate maybe 20% decrease in line strength. So any figure 8 knot is better than overhand knot. So that's the final step. Super easy to do. And all you're gonna be doing is switching out this knot pigtail for the loop. Where it gets a little intricate is that some companies out there, come on, Boomer, stay off the kite, bro. There, stay off there. So where it gets a little bit confusing is that some brands out there have different lengths of pigtails. So you have to make sure that that's a constant, that they're the same length. And that's the beauties behind adjustable pigtails or universal pigtails. Link in the description again. So that's going to solve this bar problem. Now, my other bar problem I have, of course, there's lines everywhere. Line management is key for success in kiteboarding. Go, Boomer, go. Let me grab this Nash bar that doesn't have any pigtails. Now, they typically are standard, pretty much standard on every bar out there, including Nash, but on this older Nash bar, there's no pigtails. So we can't just simply change them out to accommodate this North kite with the Nash bar. What I can do is that as long as I'm not taking up too much space or shortening the lines too much, I can just do an overhand knot, because this line is a little bit thicker on the very ends. And as long as I have a nice little tail, this will at least get me out and on the water on my session. So now I have a knot on the end. So I'm just accommodating that I don't make my front lines any shorter or any longer than my steering lines, because then your bar is going to be out of tune. And we have a video on that also. So this knot, I'm sure I'm going to get some controversy in the comments. That's not good. Don't do that. Well, we do this in the lesson center constantly. We've never had any issues, and especially if it's just one-offs for the day. The main key factor is that I have a nice little tail right here where this knot's not going to slip. So as long as you're confident with that knot, you're good to go. Now, let's talk about like connecting it to the actual kite itself. Well, it's just going to rig up exactly normal knots and loops. Perfectly fine. Some other adaptations could be that maybe the kite itself has the same length pigtails. So if your bar has different length pigtails on it, maybe you can just switch out the kite real fast. But my golden rule in the lesson center and in the shop is that we generally don't touch the kite. We only adjust the bar. So if you had to, maybe you can switch up your bridles. This is just to get you out in the water, to get you past that lockout stage of like, man, this isn't going to work. I can't use this bar. At least you're going to go have a session, and then you can come back or jump online, buy those Universal Pigtails. We'll ship them out right away, get you them in a couple of days or so. This is Aaron with Elite Watersports. Hopefully this saves a session for you, and hopefully you can show other people by liking and subscribing and sharing this video to others. This is Aaron with Elite Watersports. I hope to see you on the water.